everyone. Welcome. This is the Gimbalabs Playground on November 19th. We meet weekly um, to discuss topics important to us as a community. And we are joined with our lovely host, Steve. Steve, how are you today?
I'm great, Newman. Thanks.
All right.
Just want to welcome everybody. Diego, I want to thank you very much for joining us today. I think that I've been looking forward to a conversation with you about this the big Blymp plan for a long time. It really caught my eye early in the summer, and it actually started because of this Biddle conference that happened in Spain. And I heard Raul speaking on a Twitter space after that, talking about realizing the actual mechanism for connecting to Bitcoin wallets. And then I think reading some stuff, I came across your name and then, and I'd heard the Yam4 name before, but I hadn't really looked into the project. And I'm I'm in this for the ideal reasons. Like I have kind of like freedom in my life to spend my time the way that I want. And when I started looking at, why Bitcoin was being said to have the potential to be $1 million coin, I was like, how did this happen without me knowing about it? And really fell down that rabbit hole. Um, and within a month, came on to Charles Whiteboard, and that was pretty much it for me. And part of part of that philosophical and economic process promise, of decentralization and cryptocurrencies has always been for me the possibility to have um, access to money, right? Because of disinflationary currencies that generate yield as a part of their function. I mean, like all the bullshit that Wall Street's been doing with inflationary currency to make these crazy um, debt variations
Yeah. Well,
can be
first of
done,
all,
but if you've got
yeah.
yield, right, it gets really serious. And so, like
Mhm.
with your basic offer with Yam4, that really caught my eye because I thought, yeah, you should never be at risk. You shouldn't be at risk in these kinds of tokenomic structures.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I'm
Well,
I'm
first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure. Um, I mean, I have not been here as early as you, but I'm in the Cardano ecosystem since 2019, I guess, or early 2020. We didn't have NFTs, DeFi, not even staking by that time. So the journey was exciting. It was a real pleasure to start connecting with different teams, people, and community all this time. And as you said, Yum4, yeah, Yum4, the first time I met Brandon and he told me the idea, it was like impressed at some point because we are used to no lending protocols with liquidation risks. And maybe in these huge black swan events where all the users are trying to connect to a website and the website doesn't work or the blockchain fails or the transaction didn't go through. So considering a lending protocol without any possibility of liquidation risks, it's like caught my attention immediately. And that's really how it works. I mean, of course, we have some trade-offs, and we permanently discuss these trade-offs with the community. So we understand that our lending protocol is like for a niche of people, maybe. But I personally, for example, I'm going to explain the exact thing that I did with Yamfrom from the very beginning, because anyone can do it. It's like a very simple folding strategy. But the main important thing about Yam for me is that you don't have any liquidation risk. you can return the money whatever you want. You don't have like a timeline at the moment you're taking the money. So basically, the only problem that you have is that the potential problem that you have is that the smart contract risk, that is a risk that's you have it all the time interacting with any Cardano or any blockchain DeFi protocol. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And the most important thing is that YAM4 is pretty scalable to any single blockchain. The only thing that you need is staking. And why I'm saying this, because every time you lock your ADA, and if you want, we can go step by step on how can you use YAM4. The only thing that you need is a staking program, because once you lock your ADA, it's like that ADA is we keep that ADA, we delegate it to random stake pools, doesn't matter. But from that time, since that time, we start using those rewards, and you lose your catalyst voting power. Okay, so every time you have a proof of stake blockchain, you can easily scale YAM4 into Solana, for example, just to name one.
Mhm. So, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean,
Yeah.
what were you doing when you came into crypto? Were you already a developer?
I'm not a developer. I'm a marketing or community or growth guy.
Okay,
It's like I take care of all the things in Big Blymp, except coding. Okay,
okay.
that's for smart guys. I'm not a smart guy. Um, I, I started my journey in crypto back in 2017. I
Okay.
was on a holiday with my family, and I read something about like Bitcoin going to 20K or something like that. And I immediately said, what the hell is this?
Mm,
Why this thing can reach like 20K? What? It was really impressive. So I started studying, not investing, studying. I started reading all the papers and conferences and books and whatever I could by that time. And I started my journey investing like back in 2019 or early 2020. And at that time, I met a guy at a university doing a course that told me about Cardano. And I remember reading the paper, the white paper, and I fall in love automatically. I fall in love and I start investing. Then I remember, well, I don't remember the exact moment, but maybe the first half of 2021, where some papers started to appear, like the mean swap paper. No, no, it wasn't mean swap. It was, I guess that the first paper was Liquid, Indigo, Cardax. That
yeah,
was a DEX that's
great.
and some others, but I remember those three very, very, pretty well.
Yeah.
So well, and like some months later, some NFTs started to appear. Well, the Shelly era where the staking starts. So yeah, mostly that's my story. And researching and reading all the time is like that way I started to connecting with all the builders, and like sometimes I don't remember. I guess that was April or May 2022. I read the Young for Light paper. I contact the owner because I had some doubts. And it's like in that same conversation, Brandon told me, "Hey, I need you to work for me, so I need some help." So that's how I started.
Mm,
Nice.
nice.
That's the
So, and
story.
is Brandon a developer? I mean, how big is the team?
Actually, we have a designer, a full-time designer. We have two front-end devs and one backend. And Brandon isn't exactly a developer, but he has a pretty good understanding about coding and all that stuff. I don't have a single idea. I can't
Mm,
write a single line of code. but he has a pretty good idea about coding.
Mhm.
So actually, we're like, yeah, full time, let's say is 5 or 6, more 6. 6. We have some part-time jobs, mainly for off-chain code and fronts and some things of the front end. But yeah, it's a very small team.
Um, what language are they building all this stuff in? Is it a combination of languages, or I mean,
No, the
did you
first
have to wait
developers,
for Plutus?
the first developer wrote everything in Haskell, I guess.
Hmm,
And then that developer he resigned and we rewrite the entire code in Icon. So it's all great it's all in Icon right now.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
James has been building an Icon PBL for us right
Okay,
now for the Andamio platform. Uh, Andamio is a learning management system that's being developed by Gimbalabs. So,
okay,
um,
okay, cool.
and that's kind of like we get low level sometimes in Gimbalabs, and I'm interested in the low level to a point. I remember enough about coding and work with computers off and on through my life. So I mean, I'm kind of aware of stuff. And that's why I like sitting in on this discussions where you have these decision points, with the
Mhm.
functions that you're choosing and how you're utilizing them, and I find those interesting moments to to be a voyeur, basically. Uh, so like like the YAM4, you're calling it YAM4 Classic now. The basic lending platform has been
Yeah,
live for a few weeks.
yeah.
I guess since early October, seems like.
Yeah, like 1 month or so. I guess that was October 15,
Yeah,
16 or something like that. Yeah.
yeah,
I was about to tell you what I did the second day, I guess.
yeah,
ADA was at 0.34, 0.35 or so. So basically, I had like 5K ADA, okay? And I had, oh, sorry. And I had some CBLP from my own. So I take out a loan. I block that 5K ADA. I block it in the protocol. I pay the CBLP fee. And they gave me just to say, no, I can say it's exactly 1K of USDM. Okay.
yeah.
I use that 1,000 USDM to bought more ADA. I pay again the CBLP fee, and I block that ADA to take out another loan of USDM. Second time was like 500 USDM. I bought more ADA. I blocked that ADA to take out another loan of 250 USDM. So globally, 1.75 hundred, okay, USDM, and was a little bit less than that 5,000 ADA, like 4,000 and 90 or something like that. Okay, all bought it at the same price, 0.34, 0.35, something like that. So I made the calculations that considering the CBLP fee that I paid, once ADA reached like 0.78 or 0.79, it's like I had a 2x in my USD portfolio. And that's exactly what I did. The other day
Hmm.
at 0.77, I sold everything. I canceled all the loans and I doubled. It's like a gain of 2K or something like that. But what I want to say is that the program is out there. Anyone can use it. Even if you consider that ADA can go to 2, 3, 4, or 5, whatever, you are still early to use it. And it's pretty simple. It's pretty damn simple. Even, I mean, this is called like a folding strategy. I'm going to tweet about it. This is very, very common on Ethereum, for example. It's like blocking the money that you take out and doing this will once and once and once. It's pretty simple. But the main thing is that I don't have any rush to return the money, first of all. And during the whole process, that in this case lasts only 1 month, but could be like 1 year, I don't have a single liquidation risk, so I can sleep very, very calm. If a black swan event occurs, I'm completely safe. But meanwhile, Yanfor, of course, has the voting power and the ADA rewards of my ADA, my original ADA. And that's it.
Mm,
It's pretty simple. It's super
mm.
simple.
Thanks for sketching that out. I've been, I think just for myself, I don't know what to do with stable coins. Like there's that
Okay.
part there where it's like, why do they create yield in pools, according to the numbers that they say? And it's always got to be the fee from whatever the matching coin is in the pool. Um,
Uh, for example, yeah, like 2 days ago, if you wanted to borrow USDM from Liquid, the interest rate was about 90%. And if you want to lend it out, it was 60%. So that difference is why Liquid is lending out those stable coins. And the other thing that you can do that is way more simple is with those exchange rates is like, for example, blocking your ADA into Yamfor, taking out USDM, use that USDM to block it, to lend it out to Liquid. That's way more simple. The only
mhm,
thing that you need to consider is that you need like a minimum exchange rate at Liquid, okay, to be worth it. But that's it.
mm,
Because at Yam4, you don't have a specific day to return your money, but you have an interest rate, annual interest rate, fixed at 7%.
mhm,
Uh, I don't know exactly when, but many parameters of the protocol will be governed by the community, such as, for example, the CBLP flat fee that you pay upfront, like, for example, the percentage of the annual rate, like, for example, to which SPOs we have to delegate that ADA blocked in the protocol. So mainly we want 100% the community to govern, I mean, CBLP holders to govern all the protocol at some point. But we need some steps. We need to open source the code first. We need some time, but we are on that way.
Are you just waiting for all the various the other parts, Obimera and uh, the yield aggregator? Um,
Well,
are you
I
waiting
mean,
on them to go online and be available before you open source, or what's
uh,
the time?
no, we're submitting some proposals into Catalyst. We're start reading about that this week. I guess that after this round, we're start opening the code, because uh, we successfully launched this protocol into mainnet without any funding, without any VCs, without Catalyst, without an ISPO. It was really, really hard, but we did it, and we're really proud of it. So it's like we're looking at this point for some funding before opening
Mm,
the code. But in case we're not funded, we're going to open it. Uh, uh, we're going to open it. So
mm,
the other parts of the big Blymp plan, we release some info. We need to deliver, to release some more information. But basically, Yam4 is very, very useful for my own perspective at this stage of the market. Because
mm,
if you consider that ADA will go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, um, Yam for Classic is ideal for that, because it's like you're leveraging your position, and you are going long in ADA. Once, let's say that the market reach a top or what you consider is a top, it's like Yanfor is not more useful because you can only use it to go long, not to go short. So to scale Yanfor or the idea of Yanfor, that we need YAM4 PTP, okay? Like the evolution of YAM4. But basically, all what I can say is that YAM4 P2P is a lending protocol with some unique features with variable interest rates depending on the usage of the protocol. It's like, let's say that it's like LendFi, but with some other features, okay? Just like this. And the other trade-off of YAM4 is that we knew even before the sale that was going to be hard to raise a lot of funds and because of the sentiment of the market at that time was really tough. Okay. But
Yeah.
the point is that we need to release it because I mean, yeah, for the less is the price of the of ADA, the most worth it is to use Yamfor. So the trade-off is that the sentiment is not good to raise money. So it's like it was a tough decision. But
Yeah.
I mean, I still consider that we took the right call because actually you have a protocol on mainnet that is being used and is we track like every single day and week the usage of the protocol and it's growing and we are happy and hopefully I mean our main goal is that 100% of the stablecoins that we have are being used in the protocol. So it's okay. And the other solution that is OBMER, we have been working in that solution very in silence. It's like 90% done. It's audited by TX Pipe. We just need to polish some things in the UI and in the offline code. But basically, if you have some understanding of Ethereum protocols, it's like liquidity. Let's say liquidity version 1. So let's say very briefly, it's like I have ADA, I block it into Obimer. I have to pay a fee upfront, okay, to take out stable coins, okay. I don't pay an interest at any time. The only thing that I need to manage is this like the health factor, okay. You have a health factor, you have liquidation risks for the stable coin, so I have to manage my own risk, but you don't have interest. You only have to pay a fee upfront, but that's how Liquidity works. They have a track record of like more than 2 years on Ethereum with a perfect peg. They didn't have a single problem. So it's like many times we're thinking about maybe inventing the wheel, and maybe what we have to do is to look at other chains, what are they doing good, and bring it to Cardano. That's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. I don't know. But for this solution, is what exactly happened is this.
Mhm. Uh,
Liquidity.org. Well, Liquidity actually, they just released the version 2 with another stable coin called Bold. Um, it's a little bit more complicated. Obimer at the very beginning will be like Liquidity version 1. Okay? Version
mhm.
1. That is more simple to understand. Agree,
Yeah, I looked at
Obimer,
liquidity,
Elena.
Obimer is the stable coin.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
but associated with
Yes.
that, you've got a utility token, OB3. Is that what you're calling
Yes.
it? And
Correct.
that's
OBUSD
how.
will be the stable coin, and OBE is the token needed to pay the upfront fee.
Okay. Right. And so holders of that token then will also share in the rewards, on whatever's earned in the.
Uh, Yes and no. I can't answer yet, but what we release is that, for example, 10% of this token will be airdropped to CBLP holders. I'm fighting against Brandon because I want to airdrop a little bit more. So we're still discussing the exact amount, but at least 10% will be airdropped to the CBLP holders. And about the revenue of OB, we still need to release some data, some info
So,
to the
I
community.
mean, in general, is that OB token going to be for governance, or what's the purpose of it?
No, for example, here in Obimer, you don't have governance at all. At
Okay.
all. It's 100% smart contracts. It's 100% logic of the protocol. So we don't even want to take the risk of governance. So all the parameters are pretty clear. You can modify them. Liquidity explain it perfectly. I mean, we still need to develop like a website to explain all this concept, but this is really interesting, and Liquidity explain it perfectly. So you don't have governance at all. So in comparison with, for example, Yamford, that's the main goal is to be 100% governed by the community. Obimer is the opposite. You don't have governance at all.
Okay. So, but then I mean, for me, that just begs the question: what's the point of that token?
Because you need that token to pay upfront the fee to mint
Okay,
OBUSD. Okay.
okay.
That fee will be like very, very little, like 1-2%, something like that. So you block your ADA, you pay the upfront the fee with OB, and then you take the OBUSD and you can do whatever you want, but you need to take care
Okay.
of the health factor.
Okay.
I see a
I have a
question from,
question.
yeah, Jonathan.
Young for
Uh,
subscription mentions borrowing with no interest, but the CDB system uses a dynamic interest rate. Could Diego Mac elaborate this? No, I mean,
No, there's interest.
you don't have ongoing interest repayments. What that means is that you only pay the interest, you have a fixed interest rate of 7%, okay? But you only have to pay it at the end of the loan. You don't have to pay the interest weekly or epochly or monthly or whatever, okay? So at the time you take out the loan, you just pay the CBLP fee upfront, that is 20% of the collateral, okay? And that's the only thing that you have to pay. When you return the borrow amount, you have to pay the interest depending on how many days you took the stable bonds, and that's it.
Yeah, that's just, and I really like that. You know, it's compounded yearly, so it's a very
Yeah,
simple interest rate. You know, it's easy to think
correct.
about.
And when you have an open position in the protocol, it's like you can see that amount daily. So
Right,
you can see, but you have to pay it. I mean, you have to pay it at the end. It's just
right,
for you to notice that you owe that amount, but that's it.
right. Um,
Um,
hmm.
no more
the
questions. Loan NFTs can be traded, sold. Yes. Yes. We are working with Fluid tokens about that, but yeah, the loan is represented in an NFT, and yeah, the idea is that you can trade directly the NFT. Yeah.
Aha. Okay.
and is that I'm sure
Oh,
since the summit that you've been thinking about Bitcoin OS, I'm curious, um, you know, what Raul's doing with those thoughts about Bitcoin OS and the zero knowledge access to the Cardano ecosystem for
Yeah.
Bitcoin holders. And you know, like to me, you know, like Bitcoin holders are like the obvious customers for YAM4, you know, like
mhm.
to have
Uh,
get risk-free
I
loans on
mean,
that.
Yeah, not directly, but as soon as this Bitcoin OS things happen, it's like Cardano could be the DeFi platform for Bitcoin. So, I mean, Bitcoiners will be able to use any Cardano DeFi protocol, not only YAM4, but
Right.
all of them, literally all of them.
Yeah, no, that's crazy
I know
exciting to
that
think about.
I know that Tokyo is working with that as well, the wallets.
And they actually have you can have Bitcoin in their wallet, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I think there's a two different wallets in Cardano that are doing that. I can't remember the other
Mhm.
one.
But yeah,
Um,
all the stuff related to Bitcoin is like Raulito and Mateo from Fluid. They are masters. They're leading that path.
Hmm.
no, Raul's a really interesting guy. Really enjoy hearing him speak. Um, so
Bef-
and then to help with all that, do we have any other questions? I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. We've got a follow-up on the NFT from Scott. Um, is the loan data there so any potential buyer can see the terms of the
Yeah,
originator's loan?
correct. You have all the information there. Yeah, correct.
Oh, that's wild. Is that how it's, Scott, are you familiar with that? Or is that how it's done in other protocols? Like and it basically the loan becomes an NFT, this sort of an on-chain data.
Uh, I don't have
Don't
it.
ask me specific technical details
I,
because I won't be able to reply.
yeah, I don't have it, and I don't have any. I don't have any experience in it. It was just from reading the white paper. It had me thinking that you can take a loan out whenever ADA's, you know, less
Low.
than 50 cents, and then sell the NFT for a potential profit, and then whoever buys it can pay off your loan for you, and then take that cut, depending upon how quickly you want to get out of your debt or your loan. I
Yeah.
probably didn't say that right, but that's what I was thinking about. Was how people can profit off of somebody else's loan by buying their NFT.
There are two more very interesting questions.
Right.
How does Yanfor protect itself from flash loan and Oracle manipulation attacks? Well, actually, the team is the only person that can select the Oracle. That is Orfax. Uh, but for example, the Oracle to be used is another parameter that will be eligible by CBLP holders at some point. Flash loans, as far as I know, it's not possible on Cardano. It's not technically possible on Cardano. I read something like 2 weeks ago about that changing, but I don't remember exactly how. But right now, I guess it's actually not possible. And if Yanfor relies on decentralized governance, how does it safeguard against attackers potentially buying governance token cheaply to pass malicious proposal? Well, I mean, we can't avoid that. I mean, because we can't control who buys the token or not. I mean, I suppose that if you are buying CBLP and you're risking your own money, you will vote in favor of the protocol and you're not going to shoot on your feet. But I
Hmm.
mean, this is the same trade-off that any single protocol have with governance.
Yeah. Could you speak more to that governance, and those
Yes.
safeguards? That would be, or Mix, if you've
Well,
got a follow-up, you can put it in the chat and I'll say it out.
okay. But basically, we call it progressive governance because I mean all this governance stuff will be within the protocol in the same web in the same page, and you will be able to choose at least to vote for any single parameter of the protocol. Interest rate, annual interest rate, flat fee, CBLP flat fee, Oracle, SPOs, whatever. When, I don't know, but that's the idea.
Okay.
I don't want I don't want to say Q1 or Q2 because then we don't accomplish that deadline and all this the community start asking why. So I prefer to say I don't know.
Sure.
We will see.
Sure.
So, but I mean, the idea is that it's going to be fully automated, right?
Yes.
There's not going to be
Yes.
any other control over. So
No.
people will be able to submit proposals that then must be voted on, and
Yes.
whatever happens
Yes,
happens.
and it's like 90% of the CBLP token is already in the markets, like 88, 89%, something like that. The first release of tokens for the team is going to be December 1st, right now, like in 11 days. The second release for the team will be in June or July 2025, and that's it. And if you see the white paper and the and how the fees works and the ADA rewards works, it's like the team it's not possible to extract any value from the protocol because the ADA rewards are going to be auctioned epochally, okay, and traded into stablecoins to replenish the treasury, and the same thing for the CBLP that's the CBLP that you pay upfront will be epochally auctioned and sell it into stablecoins to replenish the treasury. So there's no a truly original revenue for the team. And that's the best way to show that we really want the community to govern and rule the protocol. Okay. It's like if the team can still extract some value or revenue from the protocol, it's like it's not true governance, just to say.
Yeah.
Maybe yes, could be true governance, but it won't be fully automated, operated by the community.
Yeah. I think that was the aspect that really hooked me, about Yam4 was just knowing that, the revenue generator was just going back into the protocol, and that's just
Yes,
a beautiful
100%.
thing.
And
Obviously, kind of guarantees a higher price for the native token.
No, but I mean, even the team having a lot of tokens is like actually 90% is in hands of the community. So let's say that the team will have like 10% of voting power, and still all the team need to be coordinated to vote in favor or against any proposal. And I can think A and Brandon can think B. So it's complicated as well.
Can you speak to Uniboard a little bit? How that's
I don't have a lot of information about Uniboard, but let's say that it's like it's the center of the big Blymp, the big Blymp plan. It's like let's say that it's like I think it's even more that yield aggregator, but it's yeah, of course it's like all the big Blink products like as Yam for Classic and Yam for PTP and Obimer will have some advantage over the other solutions, but yeah, let's say that it's a yield aggregator. And it's quite complicated to build a yield aggregator in Cardano. Actually, the only one that is really useful, and I use it a lot. I love it. I love the protocol and I love the team. This is Optim. We still need to make a full article about Uniboard to explain it better to the community. I don't even understand the whole picture of Uniboard right now. It's the last idea. It's pretty new.
No, we skipped over the Yam4 P2P.
Yeah.
Because that's a really interesting thing there. If you could talk about that.
we
Yeah,
also have a good question when you're ready. a good question from Mix. And I can read it out if
Mm,
you're to get it
yes,
into the recording. This Mix writes, a safeguard that can be implemented is domain-based governance, where each pool has complete, separate, and isolated governance tokens. This ensures that if something goes wrong in one pool, it won't affect the others. Regarding flash loan attacks, they are possible if the smart contracts do not have proper safeguards in place. Such attacks are a form of multiple satisfaction vulnerability. This raises another important question. Is YAM4 open sourced, or are there plans to make it open sourced in the future?
it's not open source right now, but will be open source in the future. When, I don't know exactly, but let's say soon, pretty soon.
Yeah.
There are
That
plans
was
for
part
it
of
to be.
that was part of your catalyst proposal, was the
Oh,
open source.
Uh, yes, but I mean, uh, it's not depends on Catalyst exclusively. We're going to open the code anyway. Um, are there plans to make it open source in the future? Yes, there are plans for it to be audited. If that, yeah, it's already audited. One of the things that we're going to ask to Catalyst are funds to perform a second audit. But yeah, the protocol is already audited by TXPipe. Yeah.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, could you
We
sketch
made an
out the
announcement like 1 month ago.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's right. Could you sketch out the YAM4 P2P? Because
Yeah.
that's really interesting too.
Yeah. YAM4 PTP, the first thing that we thought about YAM4 is that it's very useful to go long and to leverage your ADA position. But at some point, when users start thinking that the market is in a top, we guess that at that point is where the usage problems will start, because it's like it's not as useful as now. So we need a second solution to YAM4 to develop and to scale. And the way that we find is like building another lending protocol called YAM4 as well, but related to pools. Okay, something like LendFi, but with some different features. So both protocols can coexist. So if you want to use lending pool, as we already know, you have LendFi, you will have YAM4, whatever. If you want to use YAM4 Classic, you can do it as well. YAM4 PTP won't have a new token. We will still be using CBLP, so actual holders will benefit from another protocol with the same token. And there will be some unique features. I guess that the main new feature is that the interest rate will vary depending on the usage of the specific pool. So it's like you have a bunch of independent pools, each one working with different interest rates. So, but I guess
Mm.
that the first solution that we will see live on mainnet will be Obimer and not YAM4 PTP. I don't know exactly, but I guess that's because Obimer is ready. 90%,
Mm.
95%, and already audited. And for YAM4 PTP, what we're going to ask to Catalyst is like some code that is still missing and audits, both.
Mm.
Yes. No, not audit. Audit is for Obimer, a second audit for Obimer. YAM4 PTP will be, yeah, for coding. Yeah. Only one. Only one for YAM4 PTP.
And your general plan is to have all these things out by in the first quarter of next year, or is it going to take longer for some of it?
Ah,
Uh,
you don't have to answer that. He just already said, come on, man. Steve is like,
no,
I'm gonna implement the
no.
ask again protocol. He's like, ask
Yeah,
again. And
sure.
he'll say, no.
No,
Well, I mean, it's just it would be nice to catch the bull run, right?
No,
Hmm.
not Q1. Let's say before the end of Q3. Could
Okay.
be could be before, but let's say that maximum end of Q3.
Okay. Okay.
I'm still saving one Q just in case.
No, that's cool. Um, I'm it's just going to be such an interesting year, isn't it? I can hardly contain all the things that are going on, in the
Yeah.
world, but in Cardano, it's just like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about the next phases of Optim, to be honest. OUSD and
mm,
Leviathan and all the plans that they have. Uh, will be incredible to see on mainnet's Butane built by Micah. Micah was the original dev of Lenfi, that he's building a synthetic solution for the past 12 months, more or less. So I don't know at what point of development they are, but I guess that they are pretty close. All the job that Raul and Mateo are doing with Bitcoin OS and all that stuff. Um, so it's like I'm always talking with people of other blockchains, such as, for example, Polkadot or Ergo on many others. But the main difference that I see in comparison with Cardano is that I can name you like 20, 30, 40 very good protocols that went live on mainnets in Cardano for the past 2 years. And I can't say that about Polkadot or Ergo or another chain. So
right.
we had real developments. And
No, yeah,
I'm not talking about price actions. I'm talking about development, real protocols. We don't have users. Okay. We don't have liquidity. Okay. I take that. It's okay. But we have a lot of things that we didn't have 2 years ago. And that's a reality. So anyone can deny that. So once liquidity arrives or once user arrives, we're ready. We're so fucking ready.
yeah, yeah. I've thought so for a long time, and like I've heard YouTubers, talk shit about Cardano, and it's like, man, you're not even trying to look, right? If they really think that, they're not even trying, right? Because there's
Mhm,
like 15, 16, almost 20 lending protocols, and they
mhm.
all sound like good ideas. They just need some velocity on them.
You can't block the sun with your hand for too long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was awful in terms of price action, and that was the main reason that a lot of teams suffer in Cardano. But in terms of development, I guess that I truly believe that Cardano had a premium bear market. It was really, really good.
Yeah,
I see
no, it
Scott has
was.
got his hand up.
Scott,
I got
So
some
I
Scott.
just have a quick question. So you, I'm trying to figure out your tokenomics on the CBOP. So the CBOP is was that that was a fair trade offering, right, for the CBOP? That's what we were talking about.
yeah.
That's currently uh was it December and July is when.
Well,
All right. So
originally,
so what happens? So my question is, you get these coins, you get the CBOP. Sorry, sorry
yes.
to interrupt you. You
No,
get
no,
the
no. Go
CBOP
ahead.
when you as you pay that as a fee to get a
Yes.
loan on Yam4.
Yes.
What does the Treasury do with those CBOP? Are they at auction or yeah? Because I heard you mention something about ADA rewards to be auctioned, but nothing about CBOP. Because at some point in
Both.
time, like Treasury is going to have most of it, except for the other token holders that don't use loans.
Both. Actually, the CBLP is being is we're accumulating that CBLP. At some point, we are starting to auction that CBLP epocally. So let's say that you will be able to buy it like a little bit below the market price, and we're going to trade that immediately. I guess that's the only possibility for that to be auctioned, is to offer some X amount of stable coins. So we use that stable coins directly to replenish the treasury. But right now we're accumulating. We will auction not only CBLP but also ADA rewards. Both will be auctioned epocally.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And help me out, because what is an auction like? I'm sort of a beginner in the decentralized finance space. So the auction
Okay.
is, yeah, just take me through that one little bit, and then yeah.
Let's say that we have 1 million tokens. Okay. So I receive we are all seeing the amounts. So Steve offer 100 ADA, Jonathan offer 200 ADA, Scott offer 500 ADA, Sebastian offer 1000 ADA, and I offer like 2000 ADA. So the best offer, I will take the best offer for that million tokens.
I see.
Okay.
That's the auction. Okay. Well,
So and you can increase your offer all the time. But at some point, that's the clock stops, and the best offer will take the tokens.
hmm, hmm.
And
Okay.
where will the auctions take place? I mean, is that on the website or?
In our
Okay.
website.
Okay.
In our website. Will take place in our website. Yes. Yes.
So it's a market for those CALPs based,
Yeah, I
and that's
mean,
the fees that the community has put in. I really do. I love like I feel like these are brand new financial instruments that communities can use.
yeah.
That's where my angle is, and there are some technical details, etc. But
Actually, we have like almost 13 million CBLP in treasury. 145 active loans, total value locked, 3/4 million, USD treasury, 128,000.
and this, like
And
the story that you told them, or there is a story. I'm not saying that you told the story, but the idea of, I think it's like a folding. I think they call it folding, or where you take a
holding,
loan, and then
holding.
you basically take a series of loans, kind of compounding, maybe not using that word correctly. But it seems
Yeah,
like a bull market. Like that's what that really makes a lot of sense in the bull market. Um,
well, sure. The point is that I was talking with some friends. I told them that I was going to do exactly that. So I took a lot of screenshots at the moment I take out the loan, and I took the same screenshots at the moment I cancel all the loans. So it's like I prepared like a to-do thread to show exactly what I did. But I mean, it's pretty simple. You only need to decide the exact amount that you want to start with. For example, I don't know, 10K ADA, 1K ADA, whatever, 100 ADA, and that's it. So it's
yeah.
like and you need to calculate the exact. For example, let's do it. Let's do it live. So
You can share
uh,
your screen if you like. I don't want to put you on the spot or anything.
the problem is that I with a computer without
Yeah,
the
yeah,
testing wallets that I normally use, so
yeah. No,
I
I get
can't
it.
do
I
it.
get it.
But no, give me just one sec, one sec. So connect, okay, connect.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that I want to take out a loan of 100 USDM. Okay. So I will need like 4,600 CBLP. Okay.
Okay.
So or yeah, okay. And I need a collateral of 272 ADA. Okay.
Mm.
So as soon as I borrow that amount, I use those 100 USDM. For example, I can use Dex Hunter or whatever to buy more ADA. Okay. And I repeat the same the step once again and once again and once again and once again, but only with the ADA that I bought from the very beginning. No, so it's like I use my ADA only once it's at the first time. Okay. So
You're using it once to create multiples, right? If you do that 5 times,
correct.
then you've brought
Yes.
5 times that number of ADA into the M4
Yes.
protocol, earning interest.
Of course, this is not financial advice. It's just an instrument that you can use with Yanfor. But yeah, let's say that you have 4,600 CBLP and you have like 272 ADA. You can start a loan and you can take out a loan of 100 USDM. I take that 100 USDM to buy 100 USDM. I'm going to do it very quickly here using Dex Hunter. ADA, USDM. With 100 USDM, you can buy 141 ADA. Okay. So the next step will be going again to Yanfor, blocking that 141 ADA, pay a very small amount of CBLP fee, and Yanfor will give me again USDM, but a fewer amount. And you can repeat the same process. I guess
And
I made it like 3 times,
Okay.
but you can continue.
All
well,
At
right.
some
I guess,
point,
So like,
it's useless, but
yeah.
so it's November 19th. We'll take a look after this video gets out, and we'll keep coming back and seeing how many loans have been taken out because of this video.
yeah.
Right? If we
Scott
could just
are
work out a commission, that would be great.
Scott is
Oh,
asking, are
yes.
the fees fixed at 25%? Well, it's a very good question because those two parameters will be able to change it through progressive governance. So if CVP holders want to have another loan to value ratio, for example, 40%, they will be able to change it. Same as the CBLP upfront fee, that is actually 20% of collateral. If they want to reduce it to 10%, just to say, they had to submit a governance proposal, and CBLP holders must vote in favor or against it. But it's quite complicated because, for example, if you reduce the CBLP fee to be paid, it's like the treasury will be collecting less CBLP. So if you collect less CBLP, you will have less money to replenish the treasury. And if you don't have money in the treasury, you won't have money to be lended out. So it's like you will be pushed to know a lot of things before voting in favor or against, because you have to consider a lot of options.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would think that there is that point where you've got enough data, right? You see what the cash
Sure.
flow, how it's
Mhm.
working, because you don't really want to have too much of any one currency in there. You do want to find a balancing point for that.
Yeah. Considering that the main goal is to lend out 100% of the funds. We don't want
Right.
funds in the treasury.
Right.
Zero. We want to lend them all. So yeah,
It's just you want it
yes,
moving.
but as you said, you need to find the correct balance, considering all the parameters to achieve that goal.
And I think that that's been the biggest frustration for me with all of these platforms and Cardano, all these DeFi offers, like, we want to see how they work, like, want to see where they stabilize and what's sustainable in a bear as well as a bull market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's correct. And the
In this
terms of the
situation,
legacy.
John, yeah, they would keep their original terms. They're all separate.
Yep. No, you keep the original terms. If you want, if, for example, if the new parameters are better for you, you can close the loan and take out a new one. But the problem is that once you take out a loan and you pay the fee is gone. You never recover that fee. So every time you take out a new loan, you are going to pay the fee. Maybe what we can do is that, but it's the smallest parameter. Let's say that the annual interest rates, that is actually 7%. CVP holders vote to reduce it to 5%. Maybe at that point, what we can do is to update that interest for all the loans. But I'm not sure if it's possible, but maybe it is. I don't know. Just thinking loud here.
Yeah. And I guess there's something unique. And Steve, we talked about this. There's something unique about the YAM4, which is sort of being like a margin call or pulling liquidity. Like, could you explain like that? Because that seems like that's the unique thing about YAM4.
Yeah, I mean, why we can offer no liquidation risks? Because the money of the treasury it's ours. I mean, not ours. It's protocol own liquidity. So the only thing that we can lend out is the money that we have. Okay. So what could happen is that, for example, we lend 100% of the treasury at this point with ADA at 0.7 or something. Okay. And the price dropped to 0.3. Okay. What will happen with that scenario is that anyone is going to return the money. So maybe we will have to wait like a very long period of time before users start returning the money so we can create new loans and make the wheel again. So that could happen. Yes, that could happen. But I mean, at some point we're here because we believe that Cardano will be developed, that we all believe that the ADA price will be go up and down, but in an increasing tendency. So it's a factor of time maybe, but yeah, it's protocol own liquidity. That's why we can offer no liquidation risks.
I think that this is why like I have brought my parents into Cardano. I've brought an 84-year-old man into Cardano. I've brought, several people in,
You made
and
them buy a 3 or 2.
they got in cheap. They all got in cheap. We but it's hard to explain that some of this stuff to them, and it's like I've been waiting for liquidity, personal liquidity to play around with and to the point where they feel comfortable, because they sat there with me. We all watched it go up to $3 and we all watched it go down and nobody fucking took any profits. I did, but I didn't take profits. I spent everything on NFTs and stupid shit. But this time is different, and
We
but
all have Cardano NFTs.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I think my point is, like if I can, like there's a lot of communities and they know themselves, right?
Yeah.
They know that as a community, for whatever reason they're associating, whether that's some virtual community or some local small town somewhere, Like they know that they create the value that makes them all live well. And if you can go to a community like that and say, hey, you can take some of your surplus and collectively put it into something like this, and make it work for you. This is one of those things where I always wondered, I wanted a deep dive into the Star Trek economy. How do all those people all over the universe not need to worry about money? And you always get some kind of glib answer about whatever that's supposed to be. But you know, money is such an arbitrary and abstract construct. And I think that because of 25 years of the modern internet and having information available, people understand that money doesn't have to suck, right? Like you don't have to be focused all of your life on accumulating money. It can be a natural consequence of a different abstract artificial construct. And that's what blockchain represents to me. It's a completely different way to approach the problem that's basically been screwing everybody in the world for a long, long time now. And yeah, it's why I'm excited about y'all. It's why I'm excited about Cardano. I'm I because I would like to just tell people something like this and not feel like I was selling them, vacuum cleaners, or Amway or some other multi-level marketing scheme. I want to really like say, no, this is real and you can do this and you can just watch it, you can watch it grow,
Yeah.
because I think that, you know, most people, because of financial reasons, whatever it is, they live with this low level of cortisol, stress hormones in their bodies because they're fucking stressed about money all the time. And I know that because I've lived like that, you know. And I think everybody kind of, if they stop and think about it, they know they live with this stress. And now because of, modern science, we actually know that shit will kill you.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if we can really demonstrate how to live without that stress, then that's world changing, I think. I really do think that.
Well, Yanfor is stressless. You have some trade-offs, but uh, at least you can sleep in peace that your money won't be liquidated.
Yeah. That's what cool. I had a friend a couple of years ago. He told me about taking this loan out with Celsius,
No,
collateralized his
oh,
data and got whatever he got, and I was like, so what's the liquidation terms on that? He's like, you have 6 hours to respond. I was like, whoa, fuck, man. You can't even go to sleep at night, right? You can't have a full night's sleep. You might get liquidated. And I thought,
Yeah.
who would I couldn't imagine doing that, putting myself in that kind of stress.
hmm.
Yeah, that's
And is
right.
that for the other folks in the room? Is that does that what Steve said resonate with you? Is that a part? And Diego, is that a part of why you created this? And you know, is that why we're all here? Because that's definitely why I'm here. That there is some
Yeah,
shenanigans. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know why Brandon started with this idea. What I can say is that as soon as I heard this idea, I immediately thought that, hey, this is not only for Cardano, this is unique for the entire blockchain ecosystem. I never heard about a lending protocol without liquidation risks. And it's so damn simple. It's very, very simple. So, and I'm all the time thinking about how can we make things simpler? Because maybe if you try to explain some blockchain concepts to your friends or to your family, maybe some of them is not that simple, okay? But if we can explain how a protocol is working, like Yanfor, for example, for a non-blockchain guy, and if he understands how it works and how the protocol creates revenue, it's like because the idea is pretty simple. Okay. If a non-tech guy is understanding what are we building and how to use it, it's that because it's simple. Then if you don't want to use it because you don't want to pay the 20% flat fee, or you want to use liquid, or you want to use it's okay. It's okay. I'm fine with that. But the main point here is that we build something simple. We build something that I can explain to my wife that she doesn't have a single idea about blockchain, and she understands it. And if I told her exactly what I did this last month using Yam for, she will understand me. And that's it, because the idea is simple.
Mhm. Well, I appreciate you doing it. I appreciate Brandon and everybody else on your team working on it. I think it's going to be a really interesting period of time here this next few years.
Thank you very much, Steve. And well, hopefully, as soon as we have more information about Uniboard and Yam for PTP, maybe we can coordinate another call
Oh,
to
that'd be
talk
great.
about those new topics.
That'd be great. I'd love it. Um,
And Steve, what do you want to because we're coming up on the time. We've got another 9 minutes sort of scheduled. But maybe we want to pause the recording and say goodbye. We can say goodbye to the recording now and then just sort of wrap up without the recording. That might be fun.
Okay.
And encourage
Okay.
people to come
yeah,
live, to come live. Would you,
that's right.
is that agreeable?
Yeah, if people are gonna feel bad when they find out that there was a token drop after the recording stopped. You gotta show you gotta
You
show
got to
up.
show up.
You gotta
Yeah,
show
buddy.
up.
Yeah,
But thanks
it
for
might
being
help.
here if you
Yeah.
watched.
Yep. All right. So let's say goodbye to the recording. This was the February November 19th Gimbalabs Playground. We meet each Tuesday. Come and see us. And thank you very much for listening to the recording.